I've got everything I needed, and we are almost there, but let me first show you another place, alright? Just discovered this place by accident. Anyway, we've got a special subject to treat today, and yeah, I can't wait to get there. I used to think that friendships would break because of big fights and drama, but in the end the circle gets just smaller without any fights, drama. It just gets smaller, and I used to resent some of my friends, to not accept it, but in the end what happens is, you know, I see it differently now. There are so many reasons, and this is what we are going to talk about today. Look at this. So, in a nutshell, life gets busy. So you've got work, you've got family and responsibilities. So in terms of work, if you are lucky enough, you might have a well-balanced workplace where your well-being is well taken care of, or you just work crazy hours. And not everyone is lucky to have a good place where it's not toxic, where they feel great, and that is paying well as well. So, and then in terms of family is yourself first, then your partner, if you've got kids, then, and then your parents, your mom and dad if they are ill, and or if they grow older, you will have to take care of them. These are the things, you know, that will add on to the responsibilities that you have. And generally speaking, you'll have more responsibilities, more things to think of in terms of life choices for your kids, for your household, your parents, and so on. So it just, you know, you've got more things on your mind, and naturally you'll have less free time. So as you grow older, you'll have less time for you, and it's, you know, after the university, it's the same story. You get less and less time. So, and that is the reason why you cannot maintain every relationship. So you don't have time and nor the energy to maintain every relationship. As I was saying, so once you identify these one-sided relationships, that you are always the one who is calling, organizing, and trying to hang out, keep the relationship alive. And when you stop initiating, there's just silence. The relationship is stationary, it doesn't move. So it was thanks to you, or thanks to the other friend that you had that you let down. And the thing is, if you don't call, you never speak, basically. This is what happens with one-sided relationships. And these people, they find it completely normal. So these people find it completely normal, and that's why you shouldn't put too much effort and identify these types of relationships beforehand. And let me show you another thing. Where it hurts the most is the initial disappointment. So you thought you were close with this friend, and you thought it was an unbreakable relationship, that you thought distance couldn't break your relationships, that you've been through a lot. I mean, you've been traveling with this person. Usually with money and traveling, you can see through people's masks, but still, you know, these friends passed the tests regarding money, traveling, and other loyalty tests as well. But still, you know, you are disappointed because you did not expect that to coming, and you start taking it personally, and it hurts for some time, and it doesn't go away just like that. And then you realize slowly over time that you had different expectations from friendships, that for some friends it was okay that you never call them, you never take the good news from them, you just, you know, it's all right for them. They might not even notice. So for some people, I'd say, if you are, I mean, I guess you were busy. So once a friend told me, I'm guessing you are busy with your life, so no news, good news, you know, as we say. So that's what he said to me. But in the end, what happens is you slowly to start to understand how these relationship mechanisms work. So you start to understand that there's no villains in relationships, friendships. So you might be the good guy in a certain story or in a certain relationship, but you might be the bad guy in another friendship that broke, that you didn't even notice, because from your perspective you didn't think of that relationship too much. So it goes both ways, it's not just going one side. You know, the most important thing that you have to keep in mind is that people's lives change and their priorities as well. So people are so busy, you know, working sometimes at jobs they don't even like, they hate their jobs, they have the worst routines ever. I can think of myself, you know, when I was not really, was not really fond of my job. So that's really hard on every day. And the other thing is your priorities change. If you are engaged, you are married, you've got kids, then life hits you sometimes in unexpected ways and in unimaginable ways. So trying to force relationships isn't right. So you can, out of respect for yourself, try not to force relationships, and make the relationships do the work just by itself, you know, naturally with a flow. And if a certain relationship goes well, that's good. But it's like now, if you are, let's say, a certain age, you are not studying anymore, you are figuring out life, and then you will not be, if you are going at an event, let's say, will not be like, oh, hopefully I am trying to make some friends here. So it doesn't work like that. If you can make friends, you'll make friends, you know. If you're at a new job, first thing that you'll do, you'll have new colleagues, but they are not your friends. They are colleagues before being your friends. So, and if you can make friends out of your colleagues, that's great, but you should not expect that. So we need to conclude that video. So as I said, your circle gets naturally smaller, you have less time and less energy as you grow older. And one of the things I would like to add is you have a lower tolerance for bullshit. So at work and in your private life as well. So it tends to be lower and lower as time goes on, because you get tired of this nonsense, or these behaviors that are not acceptable anymore. So that's one thing. And always think of, in terms of reciprocity in relationships, either it's friendships or even work relationships, it always comes down to self-respect. How do you respect yourself? And are you allowing disrespect as well? So that is why reciprocity is important, because if there is no reciprocity, you'll just create anxiety and stress and think that it's other people's fault. But in the end, it's sort of your fault, because it was your responsibility to not put too much effort in a relationship. You should do just what is right for you, and that should be enough, you know. So there shouldn't be any then resentment or these let's say bad feelings that you might have. And it doesn't matter who left your life. What matters is who is still there today. So appreciate what you have, who you have in your life right now, because they might not be here for too long. Sometimes life hits harder than anything else, so just value the presence of your relatives, your loved ones, and your close friends. So that's the most important thing, because the ones that are not here, you know, they are in the past, and they were not important. They were important maybe for a certain period of your life and for a certain part of the track or your journey, but not the rest, you know. And you'll have some resentment, but as you just need time to accept things how they are, and once you understand the pattern of human relationships, the resentment leaves, and you'll see that your expectations will disappear, and that's how you'll manage to, let's say, accept how life is. I'm gonna chill a little bit, then I'll get moving.
Qu'un gouvernement trouve le moyen de vous faire payer moins à la pompe, il trouve un autre moyen de vous faire payer ailleurs. Et le Royaume-Uni vient d'en apporter la démonstration la plus élégante depuis longtemps. Depuis des années,